Wednesday, September 23rd, regular class. We're going to get into a poem about spitters, and we're going to talk about our bell work, and grades and B points are updated, and talking about making good choices of tape and good stuff like that. Speaking of kids making good choices and not losing the points they've worked so hard for, with your iPads, what is it the bad kids have ruined the chance for you to do? That's right. Keep them propped up on your desk, because then the loss of points, I'm sorry that the bad kids have ruined it for you. That's why they're so important. For the bell work, this is what we have to do for today. You're going to go through and come up with your 5 letters that are going to connect to your poem, to your book report book. Then we're going to give you a chance to read them out loud here in just a moment. Then I'll explain to you why we did this one. So going ahead and continuing on from there. Sure, we'll pick on random standing kid 1. Isabella, what do you have for yours? You're going to tell me, as you go through, do the letter and then read the sentence. Well, no, just as you go through them. L, and then read the sentence.
Okay. L. Loving family goes after him when he drifts out into sea.
Good.
M. Mom is worried about her son.
Good.
N. Neither of his brothers care about that he is gone.
Good.
And O. Octopuses tried to eat him.
Oh. Does not sound weird at all. L and then O, so P.
And P. Playing with his dog toys. Barco runs out to sea and tries to find him.
Nicely done. That's all I'm looking for you to be able to do. You go through there, come up with the five phrases, all connecting to it. Blah. I'll have to wait. We're on from there.
Do I have?
We're not going to get a chance to do it right now. The reason I'm having you do this is the homework that by the way, if you didn't get the bell work done, congratulations, you gave yourself homework. That was a nice gift to give yourself. The homework tomorrow, this is one of the options you're going to have. Moving forward from here, all of our homeworks have 2 options on them. Option 1 is 10 questions, and you have to go through and answer the questions. Option 2, you're going to go through and do this little letter phrase thing, where I'm going to give you letters and you're going to use them to describe the poems that we've read. For this homework, which, by the way, is on my website, if you really get bored, you're welcome to do it. You can go to my website and just download it and be like, wee, so much fun. What it's going to say you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pick 10 letters, because it's homework, and you're going to be describing the poems that we've read in class. The Caterpillar, One of the 7, Spider that we're doing today. Then also you could do the nonfiction story we did last week about the social media monitoring. And so you're going to do like 3 or 4 letters about each one. So as an example, if I were doing the homework, I would say, a grumpy person is upset about a girl coming to his house. Mr. Broviak, that's too many letters. You can, for the homework, you have to have between 8 and 15, because it gives you a bit more information to write. B, beards are on the faces of almost all 7 roommates. C, I skipped that one on the homework. You get to skip a couple if you want to. You still have to do 10 letters. You can just skip a couple letters as you do those 10 letters. D, dwarfs are minors and live with Snow White. Eating leaves is what the caterpillar loves to do. Fear of birds and rain keeps most caterpillars away. Skipping that one, so on and so forth as you go down through all the 10. That's what you're going to end up doing for the homework. Some kids like doing this because it's creative as opposed to just answering questions. Other kids are like, no, I just want straight up questions, yo. Then you can do that one. That's why they're called options. You get to do choosing. So I wanted us to practice it for the bell work, so now you have an idea. Mr. Broviak, can we do both of them? Absolutely. Get you extra B points. If you do an extra option, it gets you 3 extra B points for each extra option you do. If you do both options and all 12 questions, it bumps you up to 4 B points. So it gives you a chance for 4 B points. For those of you who need B points, this is one of those ways you can get them. So those of you who asked a moment ago, how would I get B points? Look at this. Here's another way. When we get to homework number 3, we add a 3rd option. When we get to homework 4, we add a 4th option. And then we max out. Well, there's a total of 4 different things you can do. We just have to introduce each one when we get there. Okay. Now, we have a new handout to get to. So I'm going to have you go to my website, and then we're going to download the handout that goes along with it. It's poetry handout number 2. Not poetry homework number 2, which is on there, and you could download it. That's not going to help you with today. But you're going to download poetry handout number 2. You know it's the correct one when you see spider on the left. We're going to read a poem called Spider on the left. Yes, dear?
Can you fold or have pen up like this?
As long as it's in your hand, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm confused. Let's say directions on it.
That would be the homework, which is good, and you will need, but not yet. Go down a little bit farther, and you see one. There you go.
Do we open it in any?
And you're gonna keep it in
I
notability.
don't see spider.
Just like all the other ones we do.
Don't we already have it in there? Or is this just the
There's
extra?
an extra page on it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep. Keep going down to you have spider. There you go.
Yeah, spiders all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, but we found it. That's what's important. Okay. And yeah, the first page is very similar to our other one. I just went ahead and added it down to the bottom. All right, so we're good to go there. Yay. You may either look at spider up here or look at spider on your handout. I'm happy either way as we go through it. Tommy,
I can't find it.
can't find what? Spider or the handout?
The spider.
Because you roll all the way to the bottom?
Yeah.
What's on the left-hand side?
Words.
Right, what, does where it say spider?
Spider.
Oh, problem solved. That was a fun game.
Oh.
Learning. All right, so from here, let's go back up to there. Page, what's a stanza?
It's a paragraph of words in a poem.
Works for me. Paragraph in a poem. Rakeen, how do we know when a stanza ends?
There's a space in the
Nicely done. And Reagan, in our poem Spider, how many stanzas do we have?
6.
Nicely done. Good news and bad news about our spider poem. This poem is going to be a big chunk of the quiz coming up on Friday, and then the one you threw on your own on Monday. We're going to try and get through as much of it as we can together. We're going to get through about half of it today. We'll get through a bit more of it tomorrow. Then you have to be able to read the rest of the poem and figure it out on your own, because it'll be on the quiz coming up. I'm going to try and help you guys out. My goal is I'm going to train you how to figure out a poem on your own. This poem is one of the ones you're going to figure out on your own. It'll be kind of scary, but I have faith in you. Our first stanza. Excuse me, Dakota, thanks for volunteering. Have you read our first stanza, and then I'll read it, and then we're going to figure out similes and metaphors, and then what the heckerdoodle is talking about.
With 6 small diamonds for his eyes, he walks upon the summer skies, drawing from his silken blouse the lacework of his dwelling house.
Nicely done. With 6 small diamonds for his eyes, he walks upon the summer skies, drawing from his silken blouse the lacework of his dwelling house. We start off with a simile or metaphor in this one to make it nice and easy. Monsoon, where's my simile or metaphor?
His diamonds for his eyes.
Nicely done. Simile or metaphor?
Metaphor.
It is correct. It is correct. There we go. What two things, two nouns are being compared?
His diamonds in his eyes.
Nicely done. Now my next question, now that we know we're comparing spider eyes to diamonds, why would we be comparing spider eyes to diamonds? And it's not because spider eyes are beautiful and girls like it when you put them on rings and give them to them. That would not make them happy at all, unless you're dating a very strange girl, which is possible. That is certainly their choice, but there's another reason for it. Omar?
The eyes like shine.
Nicely done. The fact that they're all sparkly, like a diamond, makes them the same thing as spider's eyes, and the diamonds and the sparkliness is adorable. The next line, he walks upon the summer skies. Not a simile or metaphor. It's just a weird phrase. Well, let's back up. Can spiders walk on thin air?
No.
No, that'd be a superpower, which is impressive, but not something they can do. What is it the spider does walk on? Nicely done. Can you see a web easily from a distance?
No.
So why is it we're saying he walks upon the summer skies? Law?
Because it looks like that.
How so?
Because you can't see the web, so when he walks on it, it looks like he's walking in thin air.
There you, and that's when, if you've ever been outside the magical outdoorsy place, when you're walking along and then all of a sudden you just like see this thing, you're like, what is this? You're like, ah! It's like a spider just hanging there in the web. Hopefully you see it before you do the spider web dance. When you get the spider web in your face and it makes you unhappy, it's the same idea. Welcome back. can walk back and stand and stuff like that. I need the homework from you by tomorrow also too.
Okay.
Yay. Drawing from his silken blouse the lacework of his dwelling house. Lots of fun words here. One, blouse. Do you know what a blouse is?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, I do.
Fair.
It's like a girl's shirt.
But it's
Nice done. It's a girly shirt. Looks something like that. Yeah.
more specific than that because this is a girl's shirt.
True.
It's not a blouse.
I would
May
wear
I-
that.
may I-
Yes, dear.
Okay.
Go ahead and specificate.
It could be made out of silk.
Uh-huh.
It could also be like a sweater kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's basically a fancier shirt
Uh-huh.
than like a t-shirt for a female.
You are
You just
correct.
said it was a sweater. So
It
it's
is a
fancier sweater.
Loose, usually kind of floppity, is not supposed to be tucked in kind of shirt that typically girls wear, or very fancy boys.
Weird.
You could say Mr. Jack Sparrow could be wearing a blouse with the little the pirate shirt kind of thing.
He's
That's
a
rather
pirate.
blouse-ish, if you will. And that's the same idea there. The next part, when it says lacework. Do you guys know what lacework is? Isabel?
Oh, okay. Like the webs that he's making.
You're correct. That's what it's referencing. You know what lacework is in general. And then we're gonna you went too smart. We're gonna dumb it back a little bit. You know what lace is in general? Close. You're on the right track. It definitely is made of string, if you will. Law.
Okay. Isn't I know what lace is. It's like a type of fabric. Isn't it usually like on underwear?
Kind of. You take your finger, do this, go back like this. What is that?
I know it's lace.
Good job. So what she has on her head is an example of lace.
I have lace.
Looks something like that. Yes, as soon as you're wearing her headband. Good job.
Oh.
And so that would be an example of lace. It looks something along these lines. And so now, back to Isabella, who went all smart on me. It's saying that he is pulling from his shirt to make this, and using it to make his house. So those two lines, Isabel, what is it he's making?
A web.
Nice one. So it says, dwelling from his silken blouse, the lacework of his dwelling. Why did the poet use the word blouse there, as opposed to like shirt or pants or something that's a little easier to figure out? Zavari,
To rhyme with house.
nicely done. For the rhyming of the whole house, we had to go with the blouse. See, drawing from his silken shirt, the lacework that goes into his house. We have walking around. Works for me. Essentially, first stanza with the fact that he has sparkly eyes and the fact that he's building a
Web.
nice one, a web house thing. Stanza 2. Let's keep going with that one. And then, Coach.
He lays his staircase as he goes under his 8 thoughtful toes, and grows with the
Concentric.
concentric flower of his shadowless thin bower.
Nice one. This one does have some big words in it. He lays his staircase as he goes under his 8 thoughtful toes and grows with the concentric flower of his shadowless thin bower. This one's kind of tough. It's a metaphor, but only half the metaphor is in the poem. The other half of the metaphor is in your brain. Tommy?
It's when he lays his staircase.
Good. And now the problem, wait, you know what a staircase is? What do you do on a staircase?
I walk up steps to go to the top floor or the bottom floor.
Nice one. So you have to walk up or down it, and it says he's building a staircase. Mr. Broviac, spiders can't build staircases because they use wood. I agree. Metaphor. So what is he building then?
He is building a what?
Nice one. So it says he lays the staircase as he goes. So here's our tough question that's going to go into it. What are the two nouns being compared in that thing? Gus?
Oh, okay. One is staircase.
Yes. And the other is?
One is
We're comparing the staircase to?
web.
Nice enough, just like that. We're comparing staircase to web. But web isn't in the poem. I know, web is not in the poem, it's in your brain. My brain is empty. I know, we're trying to fill it. This is part of the job. Tommy?
He's playing a game.
You would not do that. That's why he already lost points, because he's holding it up like that anyway. I know. Choices. Under his 8 thoughtful toes and grows with a concentric. Do you guys know what concentric means?
I think.
It has to do with circles.
Yay.
Yes, dear?
Round? Is that what it means? If not, then it means like, I don't know. Something that has to do with roundness.
You're on the right track, because it does have to do with circles, so that would be the roundness part. You kind of lost the ability to keep yours propped up. Concentric would be, nice done. We have a store that uses concentric circles as its symbol. Vanessa? Target. It's so much fun. So it's saying that he is building a flower using concentric circles. He doesn't actually make a flower. He's not nature. So, but he does build something that looks like a flower with concentric circles. Otter, what's he building that looks like a flower with concentric circles?
Shadowless Bower.
You're on the right. I understand. Let's get to this. Bower. Do you guys know what a bower? I have no idea. If you don't know what a bower is, it is a house. Back to Otter. So it says he is building a house that is a flower made of circles. Have faith in yourself.
Oh, a web.
Like I said, have faith in yourself. Nicely done, dear. So it's describing the fact that he's building a web. So there's our concentric circles as you go through it. Mr. Broviak, what does it mean, shadowless thin? What does it mean when it says shadowless thin bower? How is his bower shadowless and thin? Francis?
It's a really thin web.
Good. Does it cast shadow?
No.
No. It's so thin that's why when you get the big face photo that you do the screamy dance that you can't find it because it scares you. Isabella, are you ready for the next one? We have 1 moment. And let's see. Anything that grows with the concentric? Good. Stanza 3! Isabella.
His back legs are a pair of hands that can spindle out the strands of a thread that is so small it stops the sunlight not at all.
Nicely done. His back legs are a pair of hands that can spindle out the strands of a thread that is so small it stops the sunlight not at all. Let's see. So there. We do have other simile and or metaphor in this one. And where's our simile and or metaphor we have in this one? Jones? What was that?
Legs, man.
Simile or metaphor? Is correct. His back legs are a pair of hands. He says comparing what two nouns?
Legs and hands.
Why are we comparing his back legs to a pair of hands? Do you know that part? What does he do with his back legs that other people would do with their hands?
Spindle.
You know what spindle means? If you don't, it's okay. We can help you out. It's one of those big words. You know what a spindle is? What's spindle?
Well, isn't it what, like, when they make the web? It's like, yeah.
I know.
They, like, yeah.
There's a lot of
I'm
you,
trying to think
a lot
of,
of you
like,
knowing and yeah.
another.
Rooney,
Build.
you're on the right track. Spindle is a specific type of making. Law.
Yes. Can I see it?
I'm calling by
Okay,
name.
I know it from from Disney books, like
Yes.
Silkskin. It's like where you have like a thing and you have to like wrap it. Okay, so it's like you have thread and then you have to kind of spin it around a little pole thingy, which collects it all up.
It's when you sew.
Yeah.
It's the spindles when you sew and you have the thread that wraps around it.
Close.
And so those of you who've done Rumpelstiltskin, they have a little spindle on there. If you've been to Conner Prairie, oftentimes they have the people who do like the weaving there, and they have a little spindle. It's the same idea. And so here they're saying that his back legs spindle out the strands of a thread that is so small it stops the sunlight not at all. What strands are they referring to?
His webs.
Nice one. The webs on that was. I'll forgive you on that one. Referring to the webs because what does he do with his back legs that other people would do with their hands, if you will? Ainsley.
The spindle thing, he sews, or
Nicely
so to
done.
speak.
And that's where the
Sews. Well, he doesn't actually sew, so I had to use
Here we go.
quotations.
Same thing, spindle. So there you go. And so that's where the back legs look like a pair of hands because it ends up making the web. If you've never actually YouTubed, Googled spiders, or heaven forbid, watched it in real life, a spider making a web, it's almost all done with their back legs. They have this little thing on the back of them, it's connected to their butt, but it's a little web hole. And what it is not where the spider's butt is, but there's another little hole that is You ever seen somebody get like spit in their mouth and
Yeah.
it's like it gets all stringy? That's what spider web is. Basically, it's like a little thing full of saliva, and they
Yeah.
dip their little back legs into it. And you pull it out, and when you pull it out like spit, it instantly hardens. So spider web is basically like spit that someone and it goes and just like turns into like a hard actual string.
That's disgusting.
That's
not disgusting.
Tomorrow we are going to get to the library. We're going to do a bit more of spider. Whatever we don't finish with spider becomes homework.
Are we going to the book room?